my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. We are doing a full face of Wet n Wild, and Wet n Wild is most definitely one of my favorite drugstore brands. I feature them, I feel like, quite a bit on this channel, but I have a few little new things, and that was all it took for me to think, I want to do a full Wet n Wild, get ready with me. Among the new things that totally snuck in under my radar were a couple of new 5-pan palettes that I found at Walmart. I'll be using one of those today, and also a lot of Wet n Wild classics as well. So to get things started, I've already done all my skincare, my sunscreen, and we're going to use a little primer. This is one of the newer things that you have seen me use before on my channel from Wet n Wild, the Glow and Love Radiance Liquid. This has 4% niacinamide and 8% glycerin, and I'm going to use it as a primer today. And in the past, I've also used it as a highlighter on top of the skin. It actually looks really pretty that way. But it kind of has this beige shimmer look, and to blend it in across the skin, you're really gonna see some glow. And then I'm gonna go on top of this with my Photo Focus matte. I really enjoy both of the Photo Focus foundations from Wet n Wild. I love the coverage, but the matte, in terms of staying power, it's so hard to beat. So I'm talking the foundation that looks like this. I know they do have the niacinamide skin tint now, and I talked about that in a video actually not all that long ago. So if you're interested in that product and other Wet n Wild odds and ends, maybe I should link to that video below. But this is in the shade Soft Beige, just the matte formula of their foundation, and it has, of course, the little paddle that we all know about there that's going to swipe it on. And then I did get some Wet n Wild sponges that I'm not sure how exactly new they are on the market, but new to me. It was a little 3-pack, okay, so in a little box like this. This is the mid-sized one. This is the big one, now all dampened, and it got really big. So that was fitting in that box, and now it seems like so big. And then the mini, I feel like, got quite large as well because it was like half this size. So both of these sponges grew a lot. And I think I'll start off with this one, just blending out this foundation using the rounded end. And yeah, this is one of those foundations that you just always come back to. I love it so much. The coverage is fantastic. It always wears well. But I thought it might be interesting to see the pairing of that on top of a glowier primer and just see what we end up with. Also, the sponge blending application will give us maybe a little bit lighter look to this foundation than we've seen in the past. Hope you guys are having a good day. I woke up to a cat pawing at my hair. Not sure why, but I was laying peacefully, and this was like, I don't know, a good half hour before the alarm went off, and there's a cat just kind of, you know, investigating. So I actually feel like I've been up for a while because that went on for a bit. Last night we had orientation for Belle's school because she's going into a new school building this year, intermediate school, so that was fun. Lots of hugs among the old buddies. So combining that glowy primer and then also using a sponge to blend in, I'm definitely experiencing a lighter look on my skin with the Photo Focus, because like I used this yesterday and I blended it in with a brush, and I feel like the coverage difference was pretty profound. So just FYI on that. And I'm not really looking for huge coverage today. I'm just looking to have fun and experiment. So there's that. And then I repurchased my Incognito concealer because I realized I'd pretty much used up my last one. Just taking the applicator out, like there wasn't much on it, so that got to go into the empties bin. Too bad I just now figured that out. I could have put it in the empties video. But this I wear in the shade Light Beige, and this concealer feels like it's been out for quite a while. I mean, I just think back to older videos where I know I used it, and it's been a while. And coverage wise, I would say I generally feel like if I use just a little bit more of this than I might e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I can get pretty much the same effect. It just takes a bit more of this for whatever reason, just to bump up the coverage. But I'm gonna try going in with my little sponge now, just to see how that goes. Both of these sponges have a totally flat side. I didn't really point that out very well before. We'll just pat it in and see how it goes. This shade is pretty much perfect, nice and brightening. The little sponge, it's okay. Like, it would have been cool if it stayed even smaller, you know, but it is getting me blended out really nicely and definitely bumping up my coverage. If you need a concealer that packs in some extra hydration, I feel like this one isn't it. You just kind of got to prep your skin well underneath, which I feel like I do. But if you're looking for a drugstore price range concealer that really offers something back to the under eye and you want really good coverage, I would say e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer is the way to go overall. Next up, we're going to pull in good old Photo Focus Translucent Loose Powder, which continues to be a powder that I love from the drugstore. It's right up there with Maybelline Fit Me. At some point in time, I kind of realized, hey, I think the Maybelline Fit Me is maybe a little more brightening, but this is still really, really close to the experience I have, and it's a good texture and it's not too heavy. So mine has kind of gotten sort of messy and shaken out there, so I just dip into that. This is the little e.l.f. Pinky Puff, and I'm gonna somewhat generously dab this on the under eye and right up in here as well. Then I'll take my Morphe Under Eye Bullet Brush. It feels like I'm dusting away / blending in the powder that I used there. And we are now at a point where I know this is a look that's going to give me tremendous staying power all day. I've used this combination of products enough to know, with the exception of that primer, but you know, the Incognito, this, the powder, I know it's going to wear wonderfully well today. Then we're going to do a little contouring. I'm pulled out my Where's Walnut stick here, which these little sticks are awesome from Wet n Wild. If you're looking for a good highlighter, they've got a wonderful highlighting stick. They've got blush sticks. They recently released a couple new shades in blush. Some have a little more shimmer, some are just straight up creamy. These are really fairly easy to blend in. They're not going to be like quite as soft as an M Cosmetics stick, but you're also not paying high-end prices, and look, pretty low effort to get them blended in. I do have right now a lot of contour sticks on hand from high-end brands that are really similar to one another, really easily blendable, very soft. I'm thinking Rare Beauty, I'm thinking the new one from Too Faced, M Cosmetics, Persona. Like, there's just so many good sticks, but if you need to get it done at a drugstore price, like I said, this is fully doable. I'm not having a struggle with this. It's just maybe not quite as soft as those others I mentioned. But a lot of people really love these sticks, and they do have some other shades as well. This one again is Where's Walnut. And then I want to come over that with a little bit of powder bronzer. We're going to pull in a total classic, What Shady Beaches here from Wet n Wild, the Color Icon range. This is a great bronzer for depth and richness. And you know what's kind of disappointing? I've been really loving my Hard Candy Instant Summer bronzer, but I don't think they're making that anymore. So definitely look into the Color Icon bronzers from Wet n Wild. They're really good. They do have lighter shades than this. But this one has always just kind of agreed with me. I really like it. And it's helpful today because I feel like the foundation did take me a little lighter than I needed. So now we can restore just a little bit of that warmth. Plus, I feel like we're enhancing staying power by topping off the cream. And this is a matte bronzer, by the way. So there's that. I got hit hard right on top of my head last night. I was getting into the shower and my shower rod like came down and it just like whacked me hard. The kitten was even stunned. She was just like standing there staring at me like, what just happened? I did this little blush combo yesterday and really liked it, so I'm going to try it again today. I used one of their cream liquid blushes and topped it off with Mellow Wine. Mellow Wine is an amazing pressed powder blush from the brand. This one's called Rosy Romance though, and this is actually a lip and cheek color. So Wet n Wild has these really pigmented creams, as most brands are putting out. They also have a really dark berry that I'm gonna love into fall or anytime, honestly. But I'm tapping over that with another Sephora 56. Getting a little soft muted pink on the cheek. I could have maybe put on a little bit more, but I know I'm gonna layer on a little powder blush as well. So again, Mellow Wine, absolute classic. It is matte. Gives you some pink, kind of a little pinky berry thing going on. So pretty, love that. And if you want a more neutral colored blush. Not long ago, they came out with the shade Naked Brown, and I centered an entire look around Naked Brown. So would recommend that as well. There's just so much good stuff in the drugstore, and not just drugstore, but the lower cost brands in the drugstore. I'm not just saying this, you guys know from what you see me use, but Wet n Wild, Rimmel, Hard Candy, some of the least expensive brands in Walmart, and some of the best. We are extremely matte at this point. This does not bother me though, because I know I'm coming in with a little highlighter here. This one is the Precious Petals Mega Glow Highlighting Powder. Another product for Wet n Wild that's really been around a long time. This can be a bold highlighter if you want it to be. I'm not gonna use too much, but this will be what absolutely transforms the look of the complexion. Because look, just slowly buffing that in. There are no big particles in this, but suddenly the surface of the skin looks just a little dewy. It's a classic. Taking it right up here as well. Awesome, awesome, love it. And then I did get a new setting spray. I noticed they repackaged the setting sprays, and I really did like the Photo Focus ones. They were kind of short like this, but just a little different look. And this is now the 24-hour, it says asterisk, up to 24-hour wear in a clinical test on 30 volunteers, okay? Natural finish setting mist. And it says shake well, which is so loud. My house is sleeping right now. They also had a matte one too, but let's try this. Okay, good mist, good looking mist. That was something I really liked about the old sprays. What does that smell? Oh my gosh, like a cozy blanket out of the laundry, but yet not like exactly like any laundry set I've ever smelled. That's good. I like that. That mist is cloud-like. I do feel it sort of made the surface of the skin look a little bit more natural, actually, but really gentle. I like that. We made a repurchase on brows, my friends, so we could have something Wet n Wild on hand, and something Wet n Wild that I wanted to use, because let me tell you, I'm not really into this Brow Maximizer powder and gel duo. I know that's a more recent thing, but I'm not into it. So I got the retractable brow pencil, but they didn't have ash brown. I can still call it nice ash though, right? This is medium brown. So this is a thick one, and I know I've been all about the skinny ones lately. This is a teardrop shape, pretty thick, but when I do Wet n Wild stuff, wanting to kind of do a one brand thing, I thought let's repurchase that. The other one had been good to me for quite some time, and it did last a long time. Did you know I'm wearing a dress right now? It's just one of those little Walmart dresses. It goes down to like my ankles, kind of a shirt dress. Also, I would like to know, has anyone gone and seen the new Twisters movie? Is it Twisters? Should I see it? I know I talk about not liking severe weather, but I'm still fascinated by weather, and I did like the first one. I don't even know who's in the movie. All of a sudden, any meteorologist I follow on Facebook was like coming across with their selfie. And brushing through. See, it's good. I'm in a mode of skinny brow pencils, but this one is a good one. It's just called Retractable Brow Pencil. And then this I had from Wet n Wild. It's just the Mega Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. It's just a clear gel kind of thing. It doesn't have much hold. It's not a fave. Can it do the job? Is it technically like brow gel? Yeah, but it's not doing NYX Control Freak things. And next, I am gonna use some Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna see if I can squeeze one more drop out of this. I swear I've been using this tube that seems almost empty for so long. Yes, got it. That's the way my toothpaste is downstairs currently too. So use some of this, and then I have two different 5-pan palettes. I don't know where they came from, like when they came on the scene. There are two new options, the same size as like walking on eggshells. One of them I looked at and played with a little bit yesterday. I'm not going to use it today because I feel like every look I've been doing lately has had these tones in it. But this one is called Full Bloomin'. 5-pan palette with 3 mattes, 1 glitter, and 1 shimmer. There's the shimmer, there's the glitter. Everything in it kind of makes sense to me, and then we're like, okay, we got this taupe over here, but I'll work with that at some point. And then I got to undo the packaging on this other one. This one's called Gold Whip. There's no like loud shimmers in here. This is a total matte. This, I believe, is a satin finish. Soft shimmer here, matte, and a little shimmer there. And the shimmers do seem, wow, really nice and soft. That satin looks good. You know I love the Color Icon formula. I'll show you a side-by-side with Walking on Eggshells just so you can see the difference in tones. They're not far off at all. Gosh, they're really similar. Both have a good deep brown. The next shade in on this one is more bronzy and this one stays kind of dark. And then, of course, this one, as you can see, lacks that sort of pinky tone shade. This is a really good mid-tone, and I'm not really seeing the mid-tone in here. At a glance, I feel like Walking on Eggshells is maybe a little bit better balanced palette, but we're gonna use this today and see what we get out of it. So like for starters, let's see if we can go into this satin finish brown and actually use it softly in the crease. I mean, that's a pretty rich shade, and I'm just trying to sheer it out a little bit. And I'm not sure why in a 5-pan palette do we need 2 light shimmers like that. I don't know. I get that one's a little more golden-y, but we give everything a fair shot. Try and make it work as best we can. Okay, so that's that shade, just kind of trying to work it out in my crease, sheer it out a little. It's really dark, so you gotta just go with a little bit on your brush and work gently. I think we're gonna kind of have to work up out of this look in terms of maybe patting this guy. We're gonna pat the matte one on the lid, and the pigmentation is great with these, so my complaint may end up just being on the color selection, but the formula is really soft and nice. But I'm patting this matte brown just on the outside, and then I can work that up into the crease. That's what I meant about working in a little different way, or a little more backwards way, just getting the darkness on first, and then I can use other brushes to help me blend that out. Frankly, I think the shimmer is even darker than the matte, so I'm putting a little bit of that on the outer corner too. This will be a good palette for outer corner lift. It kind of reminds me of e.l.f. Cream and Sugar in that it's got the darkness, it's got the lightness, but kind of lacking a mid-tone. So now that that's there, going with the crease brush again, we can do some softening at this point. See how well they do blend out? Like, it's really not a problem. You're just working with a little darkness first, okay? It works. And if you wanted to, you could bring in like a Profusion small pointed brush and really direct those shadows even more. But my crease brush is handling it there pretty well. Clean off the crease brush, go to this matte, and use just a little bit of that on the edge. I'm gonna use this nice shimmer here, and I do really like that the shimmers both, look at the pigment. They're smooth, they're pearly, they're like not obnoxious. I appreciate that in a shimmer. Thank you, shimmer. They called it, what was the name of this? Gold Rush? Gold Whip. Okay. I went, I guess, without using the golden shade, but it's not really that, like a soft champagne-y, really barely there gold, but there's what we've got. This is really basic. Does it give me a similar outcome to Walking on Eggshells? Yeah, but a little harder way of getting there. Yeah, so if you got Walking on Eggshells, I think you've still got the superior Wet n Wild 5-pan. I'm glad I investigated it, but knowing what I know now, I'm kind of like, it wasn't necessary. I could use a little down here on the lower lash line. Maybe we take some of that matte with small pointed. Make the eye pop a little bit more. And I have a surprisingly good new mascara from Wet n Wild. I was playing with it yesterday and I thought, wow, this appears to be locking in the curl. Now, it was kind of a process of building and making sure it kind of got dry in between the coats. A little bit, not fully dry, but dried a little. And before I forget about it, we'll come in with a little powder. I like Kosas Cloud Set, but really any powder could do you right under that shadow. We don't want that drifting. Am I loving my outer corner here? I want to love it. I want to go in with small pointed and just a little bit of the matte shadow and just make sure I like what's actually happening here. I think that'll do. It's a cool neutral eye. There's nothing wrong with that. This is the new mascara. It's called So Defined. It's the volumizing and defining mascara. It's a curved brush with really short bristles, and some goop coming out on it. Some stuff that's really gonna transfer onto the lashes. It still did take me several coats to get where I wanted to be, but once I did, that curl held pretty well all day. I checked on it. I don't know if I hear a kid or a cat meowing in the next room. What is going on? Yeah, in this house it could really be either. So look at this. One quick coat. It is really nicely defining. Like, it's getting the mascara on there, because normally a lot of defining mascaras, the brush comes out really bare, and this is actually getting some product going. Look at this over here on the left side. Outside of Big Papa, I don't think I've enjoyed a Wet n Wild mascara this much, and this is probably even better, even though I just booped myself. Gonna need to correct that. Hopefully it'll flake away like they usually do. But now I'm gonna go back for more coats. Okay, so we're gonna add, because it really can be built. And I want you to see that. Look at what's happening over here on this eye. They're taking off. Trying to use this little spoolie to flake away. Hopefully it works. Yes, it's working. Isn't that magical? Let it dry, flake it away. And as I look up at my eye, I feel like this brow's not done. Way to go, Wet n Wild, with putting out a mascara I can really get behind. I enjoy this. I'm not throwing it on the lower lashes. I don't think I want to go there with it yet. I also picked up a new one of these lip oils because I'm obsessed with the smell. So I already had Cedar Rose. And Cedar Rose is kind of like, let me show you. It has that jelly kind of transparent look to it. See how it's not giving your lips a lot of color? Okay, that's what a lot of these are like. But it has this just straight sugar smell. But then I got the one called Cocoa Rose, and this one has some more opaque color. Let me show you that. Is it the same scent? Yes, that same like nice sweet scent. Hey, were you meowing in there? I swear I heard somebody meowing. Show your nails.
I like her dress.
Thank you. I'm probably going to take it off after this video when I do my workout.
Yeah.
So, soak it in. Soak it up. She witnesses me do the Grow with Joes every day. Okay, so Cocoa Rose. Like I said, same good scent. But, look at this. It's like more opaque color. Alright? Like you're seeing a lot more. I do want to put that on with a lip liner. I'm bringing in Wet n Wild Brandywine. This was the one I found at Five Below. Like, whoa, they're still doing that. So this is like a classic lip liner. And if you like a brownish, kind of deepened neutral lip liner, this is what you want to look to. So I'm going to be lining the lips and kind of filling in too. But I just thought you'd want to know that not all of these are identical. But you're going to love this combo. So yeah, we had the orientation yesterday, just as being new to the intermediate school. We learned about that, and then all the open houses and first days will start happening sometime next week. Late week next week. There's that. Can't miss with that. Any time of year, I don't care. Now, Cocoa Rose coming on top. The perfect scent. This does have a little shimmer in it. Camera, how good are you? There is a little shimmer in this too. This is like a mauve-y nude going on top. Looks so good. It's like one of those not trying too hard lips, but we love. So here we are with the finished look. Should we add more blush? I don't even think I need to add more blush. I've doubled up on blush today. I doubled up on bronzer. We're just really doing the most with Wet n Wild. I'll take this clip out. I'm super into it, and what's even better is I know it's going to wear really well all day too. Obviously we had some old classics in this video. We know we like Color Icon foundation and the powder and stuff. I like the blush combo a lot. The liquid blush is kind of soft, but it's pretty on its own too, but topped off with the mellow wine, it's so good. That highlight's so good. I feel like I could have skipped this little Gold Whip 5-pan palette. It's so close to walking on eggshells, but not as good. It needs that transition shade, I think. What was the other new stuff? Oh, thumbs up to the So Defined mascara, and thumbs up to the new Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Mist. It's definitely different from the old one. You do shake it, but the mist is absolute perfection. And I do feel it like kind of made everything look a little more skin-like on top of my face. And another big thumbs up to these Wet n Wild lip oils. The fact that I have two and they seem like they're kind of different. I mean, they're similar thicknesses and feels on the lips. Like the formula feels similar between the two, but it's just one's more sheer, one's got more color. I kind of had a thought like, okay, I really like that first one. Let's try just one more. And now I'm kind of like, maybe I need to try even more. I like them a lot, and I feel like it's a great combo with the Brandywine lip liner. And if you can't locate this, think about Revlon Color Stay lip liner in nude, or Hard Candy lip liner in the shade First Move would probably be kind of similar to this. So yeah, there's your Wet n Wild face. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your Wet n Wild must-haves in the comments section. And also if you've run across any new things that I continue to miss, let me know about that too. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Love you. Bye.